Hello, this is FG back with you for Anbennar. Today, continuing on with our Wyvernheart campaign. Alright. We want to go deal with them. Alright, there we are. And we are ahead of tech for everything. Alright, siege magic. Alright. Now we want to bring up more guys. Alright. And we want to go that way. I would really like to knock Gildir out of this war. If I could. Don't necessarily need steer trade, but I would really like it if we can get it. Alright. Are, of course, gathering more Burnblood essence. Sorry, Bloodbrand. Alright, and I just want this, to be perfectly frank. Although now that I'm here, I might as well try and go for everything. Get some nice war reps on Kugildir. Alright, we are continuing to knock nations out of the coalition just by improving relations. And we can get them out. We can get Benin out. This just means we are going to need to declare a war on them and grab... Probably not much, actually. Marhold has been sieged. I don't really care all that much. Spirit Decor. Alright. So, Kugildir. I had right there. Alright. And for hurrahs, I'm gonna have to leave, which is unfortunate. So let's put it there. Yeah. Take that. Take tech. Right. I think we need a lot more men in this field, given we have a force limit of 400. But I just want to build stuff and make money. Alright, build a couple more production buildings. Governing capacity-wise, we are okay. Combat width is 32. So you can still build one of these armies. Look, just in my province. Patrol refugees. Yeah, just let them in. Yeah, I want to convert that, convert that, convert that. Bunch of fucking Coronites rising up because they don't want to accept their lord as Kazriel. Alright. Right there. Ildren's Hobby. Elevet of Iron. Nice. Truce with Kuwait has ended. Do I really care about fighting them? Probably not. Alright. The last couple of Green Orc provinces. We also need Enforce Religious Unity. Culture of the Heart. Let's go with Enforce Unity of Faith. That should help with the conversions. Minority grows. The Floodborn Machine. Alright, more production efficiency, and we're gonna get more tax soon. Alright. We can get another. Let's go with infantry combat ability. Our infantry combat ability is currently at 20%, which is quite good. Also want to go with a worthy sacrifice. The mages have come forth with a proposal, or rather a project, a detailed plan to improve and strengthen the Burnbloods at our disposal. The goal is to toughen their skins, strengthen their heart, and sharpen their claws, to make them into truly deadly tools. This proposal requires multiple components, of course. Not only does it require sufficient funds and materials, it also necessitates additional research facility. The mages have elected a location at the edge of the Great Woods as their new research location. They now require us to indulge them again, but most ludicrous of all is that among the vast amount of materials they require, they also request fresh components from the once revered beasts. They claim that it is a worthy sacrifice for the glory of Wyvernheart. We need only find such a beast, and they say that will help us harvest what they need from it. Of course, even though some would hold reservations, a proud Heartman does not, and if they require additional funding, they shall have it. Sovereign Gallons scanned the great gray expanse of the sky with the falconer's seasoned eyes and waited. Clouds pressed down from above while wisps of early morning fog hemmed from the sides, fog that often rolled off the trial mounts at this time of morning. But today was supposed to be clear. The sovereign would need to speak to the court diviner about his weather prognostications. The bird has been gone too long, my liege, the mage accompanying the sovereign remarked absent-mindedly. Dressed in robes typical of one blessed with the spark, this mage was more green than they knew. Faint wing flutter rose Sovereign Gallon's hope for a successful outing. Faint flutters morphed into a deafening waves and dashed any hope of a hunt that morning. An adult wyvern, large even for its age, flew overhead. The mage threw herself from her horse at the ground in surprise. As quickly as it arose, the majestic beast flew off into the morning mist, gone without a trace. Sovereign Galen sighed. Our forebears mastered those beasts, made them their servants, and conquered a country with them. Perhaps we should take time to do the same, said the sovereign. That's stupid, said the mage matter-of-factly. Sovereign Galen snapped their head to the mage. Before they could chide the mage for speaking to their ruler in such a way, as the oblivious mage continued to remount their horse. Why limit ourselves to mimicking what was done centuries ago by those with a fraction of our knowledge and power? You are too great a sovereign, and Wyvern too great a realm, to settle for merely matching the accomplishments of old. If we can make the Burnbloods from spear orcs and prisoners, we can go much further using wyverns. The sovereign looked at the mage, then up from the foggy sky the wyvern had disappeared into. How could they not have seen the possibility? See that it is done. Procure the necessary materials, however you deem fit. Alright, so... building mage towers. We also need forts in both of these areas. Here, we need a soldier's house wood and earmark, old teleport, can wood. Can wood on teleport. Alright. We should probably actually start doing stuff. I'll keep that. It's good. Get rid of oversight of the clergy, clerical advisory council. Alright, that should help out. Yeah, that helps out a lot, actually. Alright, additionally, I'm going to try and roll for an Inquisitor, just to help out with the missionary work. The means of experimentation. Captain Lawrence fidgeted with the sword at his side. He did not like waiting, and hated waiting for what was to come. Soldiers milled nearby their war machines. The rows of bastilles and scorpions aimed at the highest firing arcs, most trying and failing to hide their anxiousness. When the order had come down to participate in this wyvern hunt, he had been unenthused, especially when the absent-minded mage Asara had told him there would be no cannons to avoid damaging the research material. But he was a good soldier, and good soldiers followed orders. Draconic screeches in the distance woke him from his reverie. Move, he shouted, to positions. Every man moved with practiced speed to their firing positions as two riders came out of the woods on the grassy clearings opposite sides. Mages whose job it had been to lure the beast from the nearby trial mount. Based on their haste, Lawrence figured they had succeeded. Load? Winches rotated, springs pulled taut, and malicious-looking bolts loaded. They heard the beast before seeing it, flapping its wings with great gusts of wind. All men would have sworn it to be a dragon reawoken to terrorize the world once more. It gained on the riders, their only saving grace being the beast's lack of a flame breath. Captain Lawrence waited for the right moment. Now, fire! A salvo of metal bolts went out into the tree line. Most missed, but one buried in the wyvern's chest, killing it instantly. The beast's wings froze in place as its course slammed to the ground. The men erupted in cheers, having laid low such a proud thing. Even the counselor Asara, one of the two riders who had lured the wyvern here and usually wore a face of detached interest, smiled. Whatever his superiors intended, their work here would please the sovereign. Bring forth the saws. The sooner we harvest the materials, the better. Right, we get wyvern rebels. Alright. I can core up Dostin's way. That sounds good to me. Also, we're going to upset the estates in our country, but I am quite beyond the point of caring too much. We are a Witch King after all. And Witch Kings don't care about stupid things like estates. Alright. Alrighty. This needs a fort. And I believe this is the other one that needs a fort. Oral, yes. Yeah, I'm rolling for Inquisitors. We should have a pretty decent chance to get an Inquisitor. I guess I have a pretty decent chance. And we can take this. This should increase our taxes by a good amount. Yep. Excellent. Also, how many Burnblood companies do we have now? 2. We'll raise those and turn them into a... what's it called? Turn them into an army. Just by themselves. We want direct rule in Ascan. Vampires offer peace. Fuck it, why not? Yep. In the Midnight Command. That sounds good to me. Skip a few test steps. A Wyvernheart pumping burning blood. Sovereign Gallon and head arcanist Aldelmo Suin stood in the dark laboratory, peering over the table to what was strapped. A horrible thing. It was originally an orc. Now it was a hulking mass, twisted and deformed, torn apart and grafted back together in a shape deemed useful, deemed worthy of being alive. Aldelmo was ecstatic in his elucidation, pointing to various different parts of the thing with manic glee. Its skin, as agreed, had been replaced with wyvern scales, as we finally managed to get subjects to survive the shedding process. Its eyes, ear bones, and claws are grafted from werewolves, in addition to a heart, pushed to the extreme to support its venomous blood. The Sovereign turned to Aldelmo confused. Venomous blood? The Arcanist grinned like a child being asked their favorite toy. Oh yes, the venom. Well, technically a poison, but venom sounds better, of course. It burns when it comes in contact with, so we had to strengthen the blood vessels with an alkaline to neutralize it. It ensures that even if the burned blood were to be wounded, it would be quite the parting gift for their assailant. Are they ready then? For production? For now? Yes. However, I have plans for more. Aren't you reaching your limits, head Arcanist? The Arcanist tilted his head. Sovereign, if I must be honest, I do not believe in limits. Give me more subjects and I shall build you an army worthy of Ascan, built from blood and bone. In time, Aldelmo. In time. Alright. We are now converting. Conversion times are down to a little bit more reasonable amounts. Really wish we could get Center of Reclamation. That'd be very fun. We will also be able to reach Legendary and Abjuration. Excellent. And get the Ash of Foreign Formation. Alright. We are... maybe a Legendary and Divination. Alright. Thank you. Conversion successful. Alright. The conversion process is going swimmingly. Damn. And this needs a fort. But we are the emulant of Ildron, which gives us a nice 15% construction cost. Technically, we could get it a little bit lower if we went with aid construction, which we might actually do. Good, mercantilism is right. What is our building cost at now? Ooh, baby. Ah, that's fun. We can now build 2 buildings per month. 2 little buildings per month, I mean. And let the Merchants Guild have what they want. Ooh, yes. State maintenance. Very good. Expenses. Alright. And for here, we want that. And we also want to build Mount Temple. Alright. Canwood building anything? Yes. Old Temple, Canwood, Fort Mural, and Northmark are all building stuff. Laurel is also building stuff. A flickering candle. Dwarven refugees. Yeah, we'll let the dwarves in. Dwarves are acceptable, I guess. There is a lot of Hartmen around nowadays. Alright. Hartman home. Let's also increase stability. It increases our absolutism, plus it helps with conversions. Alright, that's good, and this needs to get encourage development. Old Temple already has a university, has had it at least twice. What was I? Yes, Canwood. Canwood needs a university. Alright, we just need one more click. Don't want to do admin because that, and that makes Soldier's household. Yeah, I'll just build a soldier's household. Also, we want to build some manufactories. Now that everything is so cheap. And we should probably have these guys drill, I think. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. They can also drill marled. Alright. And we can do this. Manifest the flood. Oop, the Triarchy's now here. Cool. And we can build another manufactory. Alright. Seder Pipe Party. Okay, Northmark is good. Is Old Temple good? Temple is good. Yeah. Approve. And we want to encourage development here. Canwood is now done. Philarl. And this needs a university. Mage Tower. Yeah, how'd I go? That's also comically cheap. Heart of an Adventurer. Sure. Council's agenda. Huh. This will be our next endeavor. Clovenwood. That's very interesting. And here we want to get that. We'll wait for that to be done. And for Clovenwood, I'll go ahead and build a university here. Pay attention to my blood brand, because I don't want to be letting it accumulate to do nothing with. I want to be using it every time I can to get the maximum amount of value out of it. Knights, an old temple. Another country leaves. Coalition. good. And now we need to get Burnblood Company 1, Burnblood Company 2. Alright. And Foarl now needs soldier households. The brand of servitude. The Burnbloods tend to be obedient. They are not mindless beasts, and reasoning with them is the norm. But with their growing numbers, defects are becoming more frequent. Scrapping a Burnblood isn't an issue. We have more than enough materials to replace them, but having a weapon you cannot place your trust in is dangerous for the user. As such, Hardliner Floodborn have come forth with the idea to systematically brand the new Burnbloods with magic, making them fully under control of the Sovereign. This easily gained motion in the Council's chambers. Now we only need to invest further in the infrastructure required to make the beast we created completely servile to us. Alright. We now will get Burnblood spawning pools. Hurrah! Right. Everyone is now realizing that they probably should just leave us alone, which is very fun. Okay, Burnblood Company 1. And let's just sit in Southgate. Alright. The North Citadel. How quick will this be done? 3 years. Right. 2 unassigned merchants. Transfer trade power. You guys are transferring. Let me start spy network there. Alright. And we now need 11 in all right here. That. Alright. We have 2 old Burnblood companies for some reason. Again, this is an older build before the full update came out. Right. Now we're just gonna sit around. Do need to hoard military power though. How about you give me some? There we. It's fine. How many Asteri provinces do I even have left? Like 2. Whatever. Yes, this is good. Alright. More conversions. Hurrah. Now we also probably want take someone else. Hildron. You know what, let's just leave it on the Eldron. We're getting extra admin power from him. Alright. Nearly have the perfect weapon. Alright. Tax is too high. Yeah, just take the unrest. Alrighty. The perfect weapon. The Burnblood gene pool has been refined many times, fused with some of the greatest creatures we have encountered so far. They have been bestowed with the ferocity of werewolves and their threatening claws, infused with the resilience of wyverns and their powerful hearts. But these creatures are not yet perfect. They can be refined even further. There is more to be done with the base before moving on to the next and final step. Let us make the bodies of Burnbloods perfect. A weapon that strikes true whatever the conditions and circumstances. We shall have them exhibit the increased sense of werewolves, the thick scales of wyverns, and the intellect of hags. To achieve this, it is time to gather materials for experimentation. Werewolves and hags will be hunted in the Great Woods, while wyverns will be wrenched from the habitat of Trial Mount. These creatures obeyed our forefathers, they shall do so once more, in a different form. Raiding the Citadel. The day is young as the Sovereign and his entourage reach the Trial Mount, legions of Burnbloods following their steps closely. A sizable cart affixed with an alchemical contraption emitting rhythmic whir accompanied them. Atop it, the figure of one of the immoral artificers employed by the Wyvernheart can be discerned, a glowing rune of subjugation on their forehead. Having reached their destination, the Sovereign raises his arm and conjures a firestorm at the foot of the mountain. In the following moments, new firestorms begin to appear alongside the base of the mount, as the counselors and overseers dispatched around the trial mount follow the signal. One by one, they light a fire that will only be quelled by the complete destruction of its surroundings. And the fire quickly surrounds the trial mount. As the fire starts creeping up the sides of the mountain, shrieks can be heard as anything trapped in the gigantic circle burns to a crisp. Smokes rise to the sky, and the trial mount disappears. Silence falls upon the area for a moment, a lull before the coming storm. Suddenly, an artificer gazing at the smoke with his binoculars points towards the dust as a dozen silhouettes break off from the smog, led by a white wyvern. He looks towards the Sovereign and makes an eerie smile, before pleading with a tinge of excitement in his voice. Please try not to damage the organs too much. They will be useful. The Sovereign looks up and smites a wyvern with lightning. Alright. And smites a wyvern with lightning. Alright. And we now need this and then a trade station. Oh, I guess we'll just have to get to 15 development. Alright. Recruits expired. Yeah, we need admin tech. Come off. Greater than the sum of its parts. It is done. An artificer rises as he pulls up his glasses, a brand of domination still glowing on his forehead. He disconnects a pipe filled with auburn ichor from the table and switches a few levers. Head Arcanist, please check the results. He beckons towards a thick window. Moments later, a tall woman enters, wearing vestments of a deep burgundy decorated with a silver eye, a symbol of her seat at the council. Indeed, what a marvelous result, she says, gazing at the Burnblood tied to the reclined table, its eyes wide open, staring black. Its eyes, a burning orange instead of a pupil, a cleft sclera akin to a reptile. The skin, a deep red, enhanced by infernal magic, toughened by enchantments, and perfected through bioartificery. A beast, deformed, hulking muscles bulging, claws as sharp as razors, scales as hard as steel, a heart of Damestyr itself. And anger, rage, hatred, all fueling the beast's bloodthirst, all apparent in his eyes as the tears of blood they produce while looking at the woman. The head arcana smiles and reaches out to the brand of domination on the beast's forehead, and it relents, closing its eyes, falling into a deep slumber. She then adds, "You've done well. Spread this one's genes to the spawning pool. Production must begin immediately. I will report this to the Sovereign. He shall be pleased. Scales of Wyvern, hearts of Damestyr, perfection indeed." Alright. We now have our new Burnblood regiments. All three of these boys. Excellent. Alright. We also need Stones of Power. And this needs 15 production. Alright. Close. Yeah. Why not? Excellent. Okay. I also want to build some more buildings. We can take extra yearly absolutism. We don't actually care about that anymore. Midnight Command we're gonna keep. Tolerance of True Faith. Alright. Where's our army organizer? Yeah, that's one. We will not raise our Burnbloods for a little bit. These guys need to come down south. Right. I think I could probably dissolve the Empire at this point if I really wanted to. Yeah, I could definitely win that war. Death of a Witch King. 333. Alright, what are we looking at? How old is he? 63. That's rough. It's probably in our best interest to roll this guy as a war wizard. That's done building. We want to build a university. Yeah, let's go with Fosara. Shock damage feels very thematic. Alright. And what do we want? This feels thematic. Gonna wait for that to get done. Good news indeed. Alright. Now, Legendary and Conjuration. Ruler Magic menu. New location. Study. Right, and then you go head that way. Back together. Yeah, the Floodborn Machine, excellent. And these guys need to get moved back. Alright, they can come that way. These guys can drill. No, I don't care. And I'm gonna get that. Spell has encouraged development on. Needs to be 15. Wait for Bloodbrand to be up. Admin advisor. We need a court mage or philosopher. Oh. Apologize. Maybe it needs to be a court mage. Alright. Oh yes. Let me steal maps of the West Warvar. Alright. Alright, I can transfer a lot that way. Mercantilism is good. Exploring without the right tape. Alright. He's done sieging. Done. Alright. Pretty soon, I'm going to be ending this episode. Already at 92%. They allied to anyone outside of the Empire? Corvaria. I declared war on Corvaria. I could get Ancardia in, and I would seize all of these provinces. What about Arboron? Yarnrick? Yeah, I can do that. Alright. Well, this episode is at 51 minutes, so I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.